Good morning, everybody. Welcome to pre-market update. We'll start with S&P 500 cycle analysis. We'll review all other indices like Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell 2000. We'll review crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then I will review all the commodities. And please hit the like button, guys. Only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button and share this channel with friends and family. I will really appreciate that. Okay, so SPX cycle analysis is working perfect. I said yesterday we are in a declining phase and we got this decline of almost 1%. Now this declining phase is gonna be here for around mid of October. So today is October 2nd. So we're not gonna just straight go bounce from here, right? Looking for some gaps to fill. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see, let me hide these EMA lines. You can see here, there's a gap here, okay, around 56.60. There's a gap, minor gap here, very, very slight minor gap here, which is not filled fully. You can see if I zoom in, it's very slight minor gap around 55.99. All right. So this is 56.60, 59.99. So looking for these two gaps to fill. At minimum, maybe just one gap will fill, okay, depending on how strong this is. So maybe at minimum we'll just bounce after touching this where we closed on yesterday. To first gap is almost 0.87% away, so we will fill that and then bounce. So let's see. So okay, anyhow, so we're in declining phase, so look for this decline to happen and then a bounce from here. All right. And one other thing I wanted to show you, so this is a side-by-side comparison. This is a linear regression chart, and I released a short video on trade location. And you can see S&P 500. It's always good to buy near bottom box here, where it's good to buy, and then sell near top box. So we came very close to the top box here, now selling off. All right, so let's see, are we going to go all the way down to the bottom, which is around 55.50, or we're going to bounce? And if we bounce, if we're going to be in this box, that's a good area to sell, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. I'll show you this um, as possible. Nasdaq, same thing here, linear regressions. You can see here, even on Nasdaq, we came in the sell box and then now we're cooling off. So even if we bounce from here, go to this box, which is above 2160, it's a good area to sell. We could go to all the way to the top. That's possible. And also on NDX, there is a gap here, all right? So there's a gap down. Let me show you other chart actually. This is, let it say for, so let's go to this daily chart. And on NDX, you can see here Nasdaq, there is a gap which is not filled yet. This 1 hour gap, if you go to 1 hour chart, this gap here, which is around 2377. So they even not fill the bottom gap. So we are right now in the middle. Let's see, are they going to come fill this gap? Yesterday we were very close to the top gap and they sold everything down. And today, let's see if they're going to go fill this gap first, which is around 19525. So from where we are to that gap is 1.29% and then bounce, or we're going to bounce from here, go up 3% and then come back down. We'll see. Most likely both gaps will be filled, but we'll see where we end up. Time will tell. And from the levels perspective, you can see yesterday S&P 500 came to the buy zone. Um, and you can see it here, as soon as market opened, bounce from here, and that's just kept near buy zone. And right now also very close to the buy zone. All right. And Nasdaq, you can see still came all the way down after market open to the buy zone and stayed near buy zone. Even now, it's near buy zone. So I wouldn't be shorting here. I will wait for it to bounce, and a bounce can take it all the way down to 12, 22 and 5, and that will be the area to sell. And if you want to know more about this indicator, guys, hit the join button. There's a YouTube icon in the description of the video. Click on it, join my channel, let me know your YouTube user ID, and I will add you to members only group in Discord group where I share these levels every hour with my subscribers, and you would know when to sell and when to buy, okay? Because as market progress, these zones change. It's always good to know what's the best area to buy. You can see here from sell to buy, and yesterday also market open, it sell off here, so it's going to be very helpful for you. All right, so let's go to, let me do side by side on two charts. It's a bit easier that way. So let's go to, sorry, this is Dow Jones. And here you go, Dow Jones also new highs with divergence. You can see RSI making higher low and PPO is also making higher low. So it's divergence. So a pullback will be helpful. And that's quite possible. Let's also keep that in mind. And DIA ETF, if I zoom in, you can see there's a gap here around 415. So they could come all the way down and then bounce. And on IWM Russell, the gap is all the way down around 1174. So that's also quite possible. So keep that in mind. Hang Seng Index China just a rocket ship straight up. I think yeah, these stimulus is I think a lot of short squeezes happening and it's just straight up. So I wouldn't be chasing this. I will wait for it to cool down. There are a few gaps here in green, so let's see when they can fill that gap. AVGO on daily chart is on support here. So let's see if it can find support around white line and then bounce. And NVDA is also near support right now, so it should bounce from here in my opinion. Let's look at Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin yesterday, it was in front of this resistance. Yesterday I was looking for it to hold near this 200 SMA, but it did not, it break down. And even I said there was a gap here, they filled it. Okay, so if you look at my video of a couple of days ago, maybe on Monday, I think I said there's a gap on Bitcoin. And if I go to show you this gap here around 60K, and they filled that gap. Okay, so they had to come and fill that gap, and that's what we got. And now there are no gaps. And let's go to daily chart. Now the other gap is around 53,950. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they should hold and bounce from here. One major red flag is green line is below red line, so that's not a good news for Bitcoin bulls. So that's a crossover happen, and you really want this to go above red line. Okay, so that's not a good news. So you can see here also green line went below red line. We had a massive drop, so we could go for a drop, but on the other side we are in front of a nice support here. So this whole area is a nice support here. So you can see so many times we came, and we need to hold here. And there's also 200, this light blue line, 200 EMA. This is a decision time. If this thing doesn't hold and break down, then this whole thing, you can see these red boxes, they're gonna go down. So Bitcoin can come way lower. So let's see. This is a decision time for Bitcoin. It really needs to hold here and then bounce. Ethereum, same thing here. Will follow Bitcoin. So again, everything is same. So I'll just wait for Bitcoin to show up and show some strength. Just remember there's a gap on Ethereum around 30, 23, 27, and then 22, 36. So it could come all the way down to fill these gaps and then bounce. Wix was bounced, um, very massively bouncing, and that was expecting as per cycle analysis. It can still go higher because I'm still expecting lower prices next week or so. So let's see if VIX will go more higher or it will crush. So if it crushes, then probably we're gonna go high, and then we'll know soon. We'll see how it goes. And gold again, new highs with divergence, very overbought. So not interested in buying gold here. Silver is also same thing, very overbought. Sorry, and you wouldn't be looking to buy here. Copper looks like. Why don't I show you linear regression charts for these? So that might give you a better idea where we are. So let's go here and let's try to see Bitcoin as well, how Bitcoin is doing. So here you go, Bitcoin's linear regression. You can see came to a sell zone, now coming to a neutral zone. So let's see if it can bounce. And let's look at commodities real quick. Gold. You can see gold is still very close to the sell zone. Silver is also in the sell zone right now. Copper, linear regression also in the sell zone. Crude oil, so it's bouncing, but you can see it came to the buy zone here, buy zone yesterday, and then bounce. Okay, so now in front of resistance, this major resistance. So let's see if it's going to hold here, also in the sell zone. So this is where crude oil could find weakness, and you don't want to be buying here. You want to be selling here. Natural gas also in the sell zone. You can see top box here, palladium. Let's see, palladium is in the neutral zone. Let's see if it can come back all the way down below in the red box to buy. Soybeans also in the sell zone. So let it wait for come back to the red box. Sugar is also in the sell zone. Wheat is also in the sell zone right now. And corn is also in the sell zone. Dollar is very could be okay, so it's in the sell zone, could find weakness, but also in the higher time frame it's in near support. So let's see, dollar could go a little lower and then bounce, so that's quite possible as well. Okay guys, I think that's it for today. Let's see if Nasdaq can bounce. A bounce will take to fill this gap. Looking for this gap fill around 495. So let's see if we get that. All right guys, take care, bye.